In this episode, I talked to film producer and co-founder of the Wolverhampton Film Festival, Arun Kapur. I started by asking if he'd always worked in film and production.
So, previously I worked at the Lighthouse Cinema, which was in Wolverhampton, obviously now it's the Lockwick Cinema. Had been there for about 10 years after I graduated, until the point where COVID struck, and I was in a position where I was like, right, what can I do now? What should I do now? Because I'd been doing a couple of like crew jobs or background roles. So then moving forward, I had my brothers, Gurj and Omar, who very much so told me, you know, you need to do a little bit more. What is it what you want to do? You're in the film industry, you are still involved in some manner or form, but maybe challenge yourself a little bit more. You know, you could, because it's there. What do you want to do? Ask yourself. And so it just sort of unfolded naturally, where I put myself in the role of being a producer, learning along the way. I'm still learning now. And so my love for film was always still there, even before working in the cinema. Like just going back to when I was in secondary school.
Okay, so as a child you were into film?
Yeah, because my dad had worked for the cinema, so I'd still had an interest. And then even in school, when I was doing my A-levels, I picked up media and film studies, because those were the only courses I felt like, right, I actually have some level of interest. And so it was always there as a creative outlet, so to speak.
And is there something about films, about storytelling that attracts you to that?
For me, filmmaking was a way of being able to translate my understanding of the world, as well as being able to understand myself within my own world, and being able to express what I was thinking and feeling through the form of film. Like in the particular taste that I had, it was always eclectic, and I was learning more about myself via films and through filmmaking.
That's interesting. So kind of self-exploration almost through films?
I would say so, because as a child I was quite expressive, and then I went to secondary school and I was a little bit more subdued and quiet. And then as I grew older, found my confidence again. Which I can say film was that piece of confidence that I needed, more so than I'd realised at the time, and I realise a lot more now as I'm speaking at this very moment. I'm discovering, because it was a way for me to have conversations with myself by what I was seeing.
So I'm just going back to the films, were there particular like themes or characters that attracted you, that you identified with, maybe?
So again, as I mentioned, it was always an eclectic mixture of films, because I never believed that you should just stick to one genre or one narrative, because each genre can tell you a different story in a different way to maybe a different one can. So I would also say, in terms of characters I relate with, would be probably Rocky. The underdog, he sees himself in a humbling way. He always kept himself to who he was and his values, and saw his value at the same time in what he could achieve, without pushing the boundaries too much in being egotistical and stuff. And I looked at someone like Rocky in the films as a character that I could relate with in a way, because there was something that I had an interest in and a love for, and that's all I wanted to do. And that's the power of film, that even though these are fictional characters, even though these are fictional stories, that they still have the ability to make you feel like that's the reality. At the same time as maybe escapism, but it also brings you into a vision of, maybe I do feel like this, because that's what storytelling does. It's there to give you a glimpse of what life is about through the lens of somebody else.
And how do you find it producing? What's that experience been like?
It's the most rewarding pat on the back, and then everyone ignoring you afterwards. If the best way I can describe it, because obviously, respectfully, everybody wants to hear about the director, they want to hear about the actor, and that's all good. So being a producer is making sure that the house is built and that everything is in the house, and then that's it, a thumbs up and see you later.
And the film festival, the Wolverhampton Film Festival, how did that come about?
So me and my brother Gurjant Singh, we were on a creative walk a couple of years ago, and this is when the Lighthouse was still open, and we just looked at each other and he said to me, should we start a film festival? And I was like, yeah. It was from there, we just carried on. We both said, okay. we've never done anything like this, so we need to let's learn, let's do what we can. And we checked, no one had ever done a film festival in Wolverhampton before. For us, we're both filmmakers, we both love film, and importantly, we love Wolverhampton. Wolverhampton's, for us, has been at the forefront of the work that we do, because we want to raise profile of what's happening in the city. It does get a lot of stick, if I'm being completely honest.
And we need to push back against that and really showcase what is going on here.
And there is so much going on here, whether it's the film festival, there's people like Cupid, then you've got spaces like the Art Gallery who are supportive, people like Dinosaur and Simon who are very supportive. But just to go back to what I was saying is, there isn't an overall strategy with everybody that could be involved, that wants to do things. Sometimes it's a case of this individual gets together with this individual, they make magic, it happens, but they have to repeatedly do it again and again, just to bring some attention to the city of Wolverhampton. But I know that there's hope, and we will get to that point eventually. We will be like the big boys, if you want to call them, like your Bristols and your Cardiffs and your Manchesters.
And the festival's been growing over the year. This will be the 5th year, am I correct?
This is indeed going to be the 5th year of Wolverhampton Film Festivals. We want to raise profile of filmmakers in the region. We've worked very closely with the University of Wolverhampton over the past few years, as well as bringing people together from different worlds. I think we just got to keep alive that flow of things, whether it's filmmaking, whether it's another art form. I know we have to work together, but you just have to keep doing it until the seniors hear us, basically.
Yeah, I think if we get enough momentum going and things start to get noticed, then it kind of gets that critical mass, and then things build and get momentum.
No, 100%. And I would say that you steamroll it, you domino it, and even if you're not a filmmaker, even if you're, again, as I said, you're a different part of the world in the different art mediums, is to see what other people are doing and take motivation from that person who's doing that.
Yeah. So supporting each other, but also being inspired by each other.
I would say so, yeah. And again, this is very much easier said than done. To not be afraid, to not be scared. I say to a very close loved one, don't be scared.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't be scared.
Yeah. I was talking to somebody earlier and was saying, like, if you want to do something, just get out and do it.
Just go out and do it, yeah.
Give it a go.
Like, that's why I'll thank my brothers, Gurj and Omar, who are very supportive in what I do, and we work together collectively in our own projects as well.
The dates of the film festival, so we can put them in our diaries.
So the dates are the 29th of April till the 3rd of May.
And is there anything else that you're working on at the moment that you want to say anything about?
I am currently going to be working on a BFI film coming to Wolverhampton. We've got another couple of projects with a gentleman called Smash Bengali, who is a fantastic and phenomenal comedian and radio presenter within the West Midlands. And we'll be working with our company, New Line Films and Pashmina Blue. Again, on a project that we can't talk too much about, but all in due time, details will be revealed. Because we've got a lot of great creatives in Wolverhampton. But yeah, we just need to do it.
A huge thank you to Arun for that. If you're interested in film, do support the festival. It runs from the 29th of April to 3rd of May in the Arena Theatre in Wolverhampton. There's more information in the description below. If you want to support this podcast, take a moment to follow on Spotify, Apple or YouTube and share with someone else who might like to hear it.